I really thought this was just going to be a small, like, pet project of ours that was really just kind of blown up.
Kwanza, the premise of Black is ingenious and provocative. What if only people of color had superpowers? Tell me about the idea behind it and how it came about.
The idea behind the comic actually came from a lot of places, but being a longtime comics fan and not seeing like a lot of characters of color was definitely one part of the inspiration. It was also growing up and reading about characters who kind of were allegories for racism, but not really quite like hitting the nail on the head. Like nobody's pulling Wolverine over because he's driving like a nice car. Nobody's like not taking Jean Grey's application because it sounds like a mutant name, and to me that seemed to kind of fall flat. So I wanted to take that idea of systemic racism, oppression, and just kind of scrape away the metaphor and like really just go for like the actual point it's trying to make.
There was a review that I read after the first issue came out that described it as being almost a cathartic release for Black people who read comics in this day and age. When you and Tim Smith III put this thing together, did you envision that kind of response to it?
I don't think we've envisioned any of the response to this, honestly. I really thought this was just going to be a small, like, pet project of ours that was really just kind of blown up. And I didn't read that quote, but that's like really amazing to hear that somebody thought of it that way.
The covers for Black were some of the most memorable that I've seen in the last few years in any comics. Kerry Randolph really killed it with each of the designs. Tell me about how you and him discussed the ideas behind each of the covers, because they were really, really powerful images.
Yeah, so I mean, I sort of had a different idea when we first went into doing the initial cover, but once Kari kind of sent over like that one that was based on what was happening in the first issue, it just became like the theme for every other one. So after that, it was just us collaborating and saying like, okay, what's the theme of this one gonna be? What's this gonna be? And coming up with ideas. Even me just like the Trump cover, like scrawling something like really horrible on an iPad and going like, can you do this but make it not ugly? That's been the back and forth, and he's just been really, really great and also inspirational.
You're in talks to adapt the movie? Has the book been optioned to be made into a movie?
Yeah, so we've been optioned by Studio 8. They have distribution with Sony. It's been really crazy. I mean, we had movie offers from the day we launched the Kickstarter. So it's just been really interesting, like how much people have really wanted to get involved in this project in all sorts of mediums. It's been kind of crazy.
Okay, so we know that you're working on the movie based on the book. What about the next chapter of Black? You finished the first arc. When can we expect more?
So we have a sort of like interstitial series of books coming out called Black AF, and the first one's called Black AF America's Sweetheart. It's going to be coming out in November, and it's all about this young girl growing up in like Montana who happens to be the most powerful Black person on earth, and how she deals with like the changes that happen at the end of Black in her world.